Well, what happened was, when I started out doing the Mahabharata, the series, I was trying to bring forth each parva in a symbolic way. But halfway through it, actually, halfway through my work, and after reading the text many times, I realized the real core of the epic is time and time cycle, how it plays itself over time. I mean, over millions of years. I mean, the time cycle of the universe. That's what the Mahabharata is trying to convey. And so I discovered time. So that was the most exciting thing for me. So because you see, the centerpiece of the show is actually downstairs. It is time in all its materiality, which is, it's like a vortex trying to pick through. So that's what I discovered, the cycle of yugas and stuff. Yeah. Well, we cannot deny the fact that the Mahabharata is about real life, and we are immersed in real life, flesh and blood, and we are more immersed in real life in Nepal than mostwhere else. So, being here, I've been here for some time, and having experienced Nepal as it is, I felt it was natural, kind of, to find connections between the epic and the real world around us, because because that was an organic connection. I call this a Mahabharata in itself, because it has everything about it. It has my concept of time. It has human figures, which is, I mean, if you read the catalog, it's there that human figures represent us caught in the web of destruction, war, and futility. That's us today, standing now here. And the braid. The braid is the women's presence in the Mahabharata. What happens when we deal with epics, or we deal with any text mostly, if it's ancient, we tend to forget that there were women present in them. And though we have Gandhari and Kunti and Draupadi, lots of high-profile women in the Mahabharata, and the Mahabharata does talk about women, we must remember that for every Kunti and for every Draupadi, there are hundreds and thousands of women who are not spoken of. So this braid represents their presence, because it's their life, it's their lives that kind of weave the story together. It's their presence which makes a race continue from one generation to another. We can't, ignore that. But how often is that recognized? So this is actually my position from gender studies, or whatever you call it, to have the braid as often as possible as a reminder of the women that are not talked about or talked about, whatever. This is portrayal of obviously hell, because you have a skull, and this is my idea of heaven, which I'm not very good at, because I have been in my own hell, but I haven't really been in my own heaven yet. So I tried to portray a burst of light, which would probably mean beauty and heaven to most of us. And this is, and the reason they're paired together, because this is, as I said, the Swarga Rohini Parva, which is where Yudhishthir walks into kind of, Yudhishthir and the Pandavas walk towards heaven, and everybody falls off, including Draupadi. Only Yudhishthir carries on with a dog. The thing is, and then he reaches heaven, and he realizes that he doesn't have his family or friends around him. They're all in hell. So he says, I'll go to hell. And there he sees everybody suffering, and he says, I'm not going back. I'm staying in hell. Though I have walked into heaven, I want to stay in hell. And that moment, this switches back to heaven. So there's a constant switch between heaven and hell. So what I thought was, it's written here also, that it's actually a state of the mind. Whether you're in your own hell or whether it's your own heaven, it's how you look at life and take life, because it's all in your mind. This is my portrayal of time, and I was talking about time a little earlier. This is the cycle of yugas, which is centric to the theme of the Mahabharata. And I hope all of you come and see this, because my works I've worked so hard and tried to give a different perspective to the treatment of Mahabharata, in the sense that, there have been lots and lots of different treatments in different mediums, theater, cinema, paintings, whatever. But since I've tried something, and I've tried to break some boundaries and maybe take my painting a little further, I will be grateful if you would come and leave your opinion with us, to discuss the exhibition with you, and have your feedback on it. It will be very interesting, because nothing like a young minds to open up new doors.
We hope you liked today's episode. For feedback, contact us mnpgtv@gmail.com, GPO 8975 EPC 5478, Kathmandu, Nepal. See you next week.